Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. So I'm going to try using something new and it's going to combine a couple of my interests. Woodworking obviously and drinking whiskey. So I've got some whiskey barrel staves from Scotland. They smell amazing, but the charring is really dirty. So what I've seen other people do, unfortunately, is sand that away. You probably could seal it in somehow, but I think I'm going to sand it and I'm going to use the belt sander with the curved end to do that. So I've got them sanded and I've kind of compromised and taken off all the loose flaky bits but left some of the charring on so you still get that whiskey barrel look. And I can seal that in with some finish later on. So what I'm going to use these for is I'm going to make a garden trug. So I'm going to need some more wood. So I've got some rough sawn oak that I'm just going to roughly cut to size using the jigsaw, and then I can get it planed and thicknessed. So I don't want to use the full length of these staves, I want to get them trimmed down. So I'm going to mark out the centre point on them and then mark an equal distance from each side of that. Then I can use a Japanese pull saw to cut the ends. With them cut to length, I can then place them onto the oak I've planed and trace round them. And then this shape I can get cut out on the bandsaw. So that's the oak cut, and now it matches the staves perfectly. So now I need some end pieces, and I want them to be 25 centimetres high so I can get them cross-cut on the table saw. Now I need them to match the ends of the oak, and they're all different because of the curve, so I can get them marked out and all ripped down. Now because the sides are curved, the staves don't match the end pieces perfectly, so I need to flatten them off a little. And I'm going to do that using the belt sander to just kind of put a flat spot on the end. So I want these end pieces to taper into the top, so I'm just going to mark out the taper and then get that cut on the bandsaw. Now I used the widest staves I had to do the sides, but I've got some of these thinner ones left over and I'm going to use those for the handle. So I'm going to get them cut slightly longer than needed, and then the plan is to mortise them in. So first I'm going to mark out on the ends where I want the mortise to go and get it drilled out. Then I can square it up with a chisel. Now on the staves I can mark out the tenon and get that cut on the bandsaw. So I've given all the bits of sand down, now I can join them together, and I'm going to screw them together and then plug the holes later on. So I can get some holes drilled with a countersinking bit along the bottom and the edges of the staves and along the bottom of the side pieces, the end pieces. Then I can get the handles fitted into the ends and then I can start getting it all screwed together. I've got it all glued together. Now I need to fill those holes. And this is the most fun I've ever had drilling holes, because every time I make a hole in it, it just smells fantastic. So I've got little scraps of the staves I can use to plug those, and some scraps of the oak to do the ones on the ends. So I'm just going to get them glued in and left to dry. So normally I'd install the plugs, let them dry, trim them flush and then sand them. But I realised I want the surface colour on the staves to be the same, so I'm trimming them down first with a chisel and then installing them flush. But for the end ones, I am going to trim them later and then sand them. I'm now going to add my Badger brand to the sides of these. To finish these, I'm going to apply some Treatex hard wax oil in clear matte. So that's them all done, and I'm really pleased with how they look. Now, I did say they were going to be garden trugs, but to be honest, with all that solid oak in them, they're probably a little heavy for that purpose. But I still think they look cool, and for anyone that likes whiskey, they're probably a great gift to store things in. I've never cut mortise and tenon before, and they're pretty bad, so I'm not going to show you a close-up, but I can keep practicing with those. I'm going to give a couple away as gifts, and I'm going to stick one up on my website. So if you're interested, there's a link down below to it. So thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.